we have to weigh out risk versus reward. Whenever you're making choices in life, we need to weigh out that risk versus reward. It's how we make smart choices. Does anybody here have a coin, penny, nickel, dime, quarter? Don't throw it at me. If you have it, just hold it up, just like that. What's your name?
Cameron.
Cameron, go like this. Hold this right up here. Perfect. Do not move. And your name?
Julia.
Julia. And you have your coin, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Do I have your permission to do this? We good?
Sure, yeah.
All right. First rule in making smart choices. Again, get all the information first. Julia didn't do that. She has no idea what horrible things she just agreed to. Here's what's going to happen. In a second, you're going to flip the coin, catch it, turn it, that's it. Then you're going to put your health and well-being, do the best you can. You're going to put your health and well-being in her hands, all right? Because what's going to happen, you're going to flip it, catch it, turn it, or throw it up, catch it, turn it.
Okay.
And if it matches, you get nothing.
Okay.
There's one piece of paper in here. It says heads or it says tails. If it matches, you get nothing. If it's wrong, we get to punch you square in the face as hard as I can. You get to do nothing about it. I don't even want to do it. I don't believe it, but you already agreed. So flip the coin for me. And turn it. And you can say what it is nice and loud.
Tails.
Tails. You can open up. There's one piece of paper in there. You see it? You can grab it if you can. And it says?
Tails.
Tails. That's always the reaction. Everybody's like, oh, I want to get punched in the face. All right. 3 quick little lessons. 1, before you do something, get all the information first, right? Mm-hmm. Understand, get those questions, do your research. 2nd, don't put your health and well-being in somebody else's hands. And 3, this is the final thing. You knew you were going to get punched in the face or get nothing based on flipping the coin, right? You're going to get punched in the face, totally going to do it, or nothing based on flipping the coin. Why'd you flip the coin? People always forget about that too. They get in the moment, they're like, okay. And instead, we need to take that step back and stop and think. I get nothing to gain but everything to lose. No, I'm good. Don't flip that coin. It's not worth it. Give them both a nice round of applause. You guys can have a seat for me. Always weigh that out, that risk versus reward. And again, we have the perception versus reality. And there are more studies that are coming out. We have that perception. When it comes to that marketing message that they're targeting to you, you're going to hear, it's safe, it's just vapor. You saw that in the ads, right? It's safe, just vapor. It's a choice, lifestyle choice, freedom. Celebrity endorsements, target marketing to you. The reality, here's what we do know. It does still cause pulmonary effects. We're going to get into that in a little bit. We have understand there's a lack of quality control. People aren't really regulating. When it comes to that liquid, there's over 7,000 companies that are creating that liquid. And when the FDA actually tests the different liquids, they find different things in different ones. All the way to the point where, you know how some of them say nicotine-free? Some they'll say nicotine-free. The FDA actually tested the ones that said nicotine-free, and they found that they contain nicotine. How could they do that? Because they can't. There wasn't really any regulation. They did pass regulation with the FDA, but they're really not enforcing anything. And plus, when it comes to the nicotine, they're creating synthetic nicotine now. So they're trying to get a loophole around it so that they're not regulated. So they understand that you might sit there and say, I'm going to try this one just so I vape, but I don't want to get addicted to the nicotine. They understand that. I'll just vape. I won't get addicted to the nicotine because it's nicotine-free. And when regulations do pass through, it's too late. You're already hooked. We understand that there is secondhand vaping. So when someone inhales and exhales, some of the toxins there are still in that mist so that you can't inhale it. There's also something called third-hand vaping. Because when you exhale that mist, there's still nicotine and things like that in there that can fall to the ground. And it can be absorbed by the skin. More long-term studies do need to be done. We do have certain side effects that have been reported already. Things like the mouth irritating the airways, the smoker's cough. Also, when it comes to e-cigarettes, we'll get into that in a second. Increased chest pain, blood pressure, heart rate, mainly the nicotine. The effect on the cells. This is a new study that recently came out. Inside your mouth, inside your nose, it makes it really thin. And it can actually make easy for bleeding. They found that a lot of the chemicals will actually kill the mitochondria within the cell. Anybody know what mitochondria does within the cell? The powerhouse, exactly. It's the power, it's the energy. And some of the things that were seen to be, hey, this is okay, this chemical is fine. Well, it was fine because for eating purposes, but again, when you heat it up on a hot coil and inhale it, it can actually have negative effects. So these types of toxins, again, are being inhaled into your lungs. You know what your lungs love? Air. You know what it hates? Everything else. I'm just saying, if you can't say nothing bad's going to happen, because we are still learning about all these things. More and more is happening. We do have the respiratory, the smoker's cough. They did a study out in California where they had 2,000 teens, 16 to 18. They tested them. They looked at everybody and said, okay, who here had vaped in the past? About 25% of them. Then from there, they took the ones that vaped recently and way in the past, and they found that both of them were twice as more likely to have chronic bronchitis than people that didn't vape. It's showing that it does affect your lungs, and it's not like I stop and then it'll come right back. It's that it is having more of a long-term effect on there. So what can happen later on? And again, a lot more studies need to be done. You guys right now, you're the guinea pigs.